Hey everybody, it's Stacie Duffy here, your Denver Metro real estate resource, and we just finished putting the kids to bed, where my husband's putting the 2-year-old to bed. I just finished with the baby, and it is a Monday night, and it's absolutely gorgeous outside. So it might be a little noisy. It's obviously a little windy. We got some traffic noise, so I'm trying to use a mic to help that out. But I wanted to share this with y'all before I answer the question real quick. So absolutely gorgeous summer sunset here in South Denver Metro. So one of the good things about living on the east side of town is I'm looking west, and I always get a great mountain view. Alrighty, so just to keep the wind noise down and keep things from moving around so much, since I'm not using my gimbal, I'll just take a seat. But what I wanted to answer today was what's wrong with a back on market house. So I'm getting this question a lot because our back on market rate is really high right now, somewhere between 25 to 30%. Depending on the weekend and depending on the inventory and everything like that. So back on markets, especially in a really hot market, a lot of people get worried about when a house comes back on the market. They think there's something wrong with it. They're like, oh my gosh, did the inspection go terribly wrong? Or what happened? It must be a terrible house. Why is it back on the market? Roughly 1 in 3 right now. 1 in 4, 1 in 3 houses is coming back on. So I want to talk a little bit about why that happens and why not to freak out right away. And sorry if my hair is just messy because it's windy, and we'll see when the gusts pick up here what happens. So a few main reasons that houses come back on the market. One, in a crazy seller's market where buyers are having to bid and it's really aggressive, is almost the buyer's remorse, right? And so that may be where the buyer didn't have a chance to really sleep on it, or they felt like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I bid this. I'm really not comfortable with it, because they felt like they had to give away everything or waive inspections or, offer something that they can't afford or something like that. And in the time, they're like, I don't care what it takes, so let's just do it. And then they sleep on it, and the next day or a couple days later or whatever, they change their mind, or they don't feel good about it, or they're questioning it, right? And it's like, you know what? I'm not comfortable with this. Let me just get out and get my money back. That happens a lot. Not with me and most of my clients, because I set realistic expectations. We have those conversations beforehand, but it does happen quite a bit. So that's one reason. The other reason is the multiple offers in one weekend scenario. So I'm not going to go into whether or not it's okay or not, whatever, not the point of this video. But sometimes what buyers will do is they will put in offers on multiple homes in the same weekend, because normally there's no reason to do that. However, given that, the houses are all coming on Thursday or Friday, and all the houses available to buy that weekend are all showing Saturday, Sunday, and then they're making the decision Monday or Tuesday. If you miss the good house or the one you really like, but you have to have a place to live, some people are putting offers in on multiple properties. And then if they get more than one, they have to back out of the others, right? So, like I said, not getting into all of that, but that is happening. So that's another reason. And then the third one is it's inspection related, but it's more to the unrealistic expectations or not following through type thing relating to inspection. So a lot of people feel like they have to waive their inspection objection. Doesn't mean, depending on how the contract is written, doesn't mean you can't have an inspection, as long as you still have inspection termination deadline in there. You have the right to do the inspection, but maybe you told the seller in your offer that you're not going to ask for anything, or you waive that objection deadline, or you're only going to ask for health and safety or something like that. But you also paid this crazy high price. And so what's happening is buyers are offering, really, really high prices. They do the inspection, and then even though they said, seller, I'm not going to ask for anything, they're like, well, I really want to ask for this and this and this, and I'm paying this crazy high price for the house, so I shouldn't have to fix all this stuff. And it becomes this conflict, right? And so the buyer feels like they shouldn't have to pay for all those things because they paid the high price, even though they made the offer, telling the seller they wouldn't ask for those things, but then they change their mind. Or they ask for those things, and then the seller gets mad and says, we weren't supposed to talk about all this stuff. That wasn't going to matter according to your offer. And then the buyer says, well, I changed my mind, take a hike. So there's a lot of that going on too. But I just don't want people to think that because the house is back on market, there's something wrong with it. That's also a really good way to pick up a house or get an offer accepted in this kind of market. So for my buyers that are looking for something really specific, or maybe they, offered on their dream place and they missed out, I always tell the agent, if, we don't get it and the buyer's seriously interested in pursuing it as a backup offer, I'm like, hey, We would love to be considered for a backup offer. If anything happens, if anything comes up, if the seller's not happy with the, the accepted buyer, or they ask for a bunch of things on inspection, give us a call. Like, we'd love to be a backup. So I've gotten many buyers under contract that way, or, day 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, when the first buyer's doing their inspection. It's a good time to reach out, have your agent reach out to that listing agent and say, hey, just curious how inspection's going, because we're still interested. We'd love the opportunity. So to kind of work those back up in those pending properties. Like I said, 1 in 3, 1 in 4 is coming back on the market right now. So definitely a good strategy if you're home shopping. But don't be worried about the back on market, guys. Just because it came back on doesn't mean the thing is falling apart, doesn't mean that there's something wrong with it. Sometimes there is, sure, but not always. I would say more often that's not the case. So anyway, hopefully that answers the question a little bit for y'all. If you are liking my videos, please subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments related to this, I'll answer them how I can. This differs a little bit depending on the state, but please feel free to leave those down below. If you're looking to buy or sell here in the Denver metro area, I would be happy to help. Please feel free to give me a call or reach out to me directly. My contact information is on my website. Link for that is down below as well. And thanks so much for the time, and have a great day. And my remote never works. I don't know why I bother using it.